At this point, Mr. Scoobert has 13 different TV shows in his catalog, some better than others, in some he's the main attraction, in some he doesn't even appear, you get the gist of it. But the thing they all have in common is an intro. The intro of a show is like the cover you judge of a book, so it needs to be straight to the point, deliver the message and vibe of the show most concretely and compactly possible. Otherwise, the viewer remains stun-locked wondering what he stumbled into. And when it comes to Scooby-Doo shows, the intros can be so good, they become staples of people's childhoods. Before we dive in, I have 13 shows on my list. I'm ranking one intro for each, no season 2 stuff where they just change a couple of images in the montage or the Laugh Olympics or Richie Rich, just the 13 main intros of the 13 shows in a tier list type of ranking. Incommensurable. Now let's dive into over half a decade of animation and judge it based on its cover in less than 20 minutes. Let's go. This intro is such a classic for everyone in my opinion. Any person that has seen a couple of episodes of Scooby-Doo or has heard about it has to have seen it. And the thing is that it remains in your head, like from the portion at the start with the bats coming in revealing the title card to the end where Scooby licks the cotton candy off of him. It's such an impressive way to open a kids series, showing at the same time that it's funny and kid friendly while keeping the eeriness using the dark color palette and scary elements like the aforementioned bats and the monsters. It shows us right from the get-go that Scooby is the star by having his name be a part of the title and what he represents. A scared dog by showing us Scooby gulping as the first glance at any character after the title sequence. It's amazing, nostalgic, brilliant, other 17 adjectives, you get the gist of it. S tier. I remember Saturday mornings from my dear childhood in which I'd be lying in bed waiting for a TV program called Cartoon Network Cinema. The program had multiple movies as choices, but most often, in my opinion, they played episodes from the new Scooby-Doo movies. And when I'd hear that intro with the eyes, I'd get shivers, and I'd know I was in for a ride. This intro does get a bit of a reduction point because the whole appeal of the show, apart from the extended runtime, is the addition of celebrities, either fictional ones like the Addams Family or real ones like Mama Cass, but this intro shows none. You might say that they kept it as a surprise, but it don't make no sense because of the probable promotional material that was released before the show and the fact that if you watch one episode you understand that there are celebrities and that's it. The second intro though, from the second season, repairs this problem and shows multiple familiar faces amongst the likes of Batman and Robin and the Harlem Globetrotters. Globetrotters, yes. I know I said I would just focus on the first intro, but in cases like this, where the changes are a solution to a previous issue, I have to focus on them as well. B tier. The revival of the series was made after a couple of years of silence for the show, mixing in newly developed episodes with what was supposed to be a third season of Where Are You. It ultimately proved to be my favorite Scooby series for multiple factors. The intro though is not the most amazing, but I do feel like it's above the new movies one. I like the music better, but it's a little too upbeat for this version of Scooby-Doo in my opinion, but the rest, the sound effects, the appearance of Scooby-Doo, making people wonder who he was. People probably still wonder that because he only got like 3 episodes, but the Gator Ghoul one is one of my favorites. The iconic draw runaway gag with the 10,000 volt ghost and its still image at the end, really iconic for any Scooby fan. So you can't go wrong with this intro. A tier. It's a nice intro. Right from the get-go it introduces Scrappy and shows us what we need to know. He's Scooby's nephew and he's a fearless puppy. I like how the intro is just a big sequence apart from the previous installments using different clips and pieces from the show combined with stuff designed for the intro. All these scenes in here were solely designed for the intro and I like that dedication. Huge props to that. If only the seasons were as decent as this intro. I'm talking about the latter 3 seasons with 99 segments. Horrible. B tier. It kinda starts like the Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo one, but then we get a beat switch and Daphne appears. It then goes on for a bit and it's over. It's pretty basic and is only about half the length of any Scooby intro we got to that point in the franchise, so it's really forgettable, besides that one red and black shot of different world landmarks. D tier. The theme song is upbeat, funky, a bit goofy, cute, it fits the vibe of the show like a glove. The intro animation as well, with all those things happening, Shaggy and Scooby having those over-the-top cartoon expressions and movements, Looney Tunes type of stuff, Scooby turning into a rocket. The show also has a nice way of representing its characters and not making them so one-noted, which I enjoy. The whole intro has this harmless appeal, it's so nice to see it. I feel happier in a way after watching it. Maybe I'm just crazy, but yeah. I was initially going to send this to the B tier, but upon re-evaluating my thoughts, I think the A tier would be a really nice spot for this one. It's fabulous, like, honestly, everything. The details, the transitions, the music, they set up the whole show perfectly, showing that there are real ghosts, actual specters that this new gang has to deal with. They show a new character, Flim Flam, the fact that it's Scooby's and Shaggy's fault for the opening of the chest, and that's why they are responsible for putting them all back, and the sequence at the beginning before the chest opens. I can easily see that being sampled in a song. S tier. This was my Scooby-Doo. Everyone has their Scooby-Doo, but this is the one I grew up with the most, and I have to say, The intro is perfection. This is the best Scooby-Doo intro of any Scooby series, hands down. The song is such a classic, it makes up 90% of the whole experience, and I like how everything is fast-paced to stay in tune with the song. Fun fact, I learned a bit of the piano version of it for the intro of my ranking every Scooby series. Maybe you'd like to give it a watch after this one. Shameless plug over. The only thing that I dislike a bit, and that goes for the series in general, is the high brightness in the animation. In some scenes in the episodes, it looks bright in the middle of the night. I can't remember the exact reason for the life of me, but it had something to do that it was digitally animated or something. It's like one of the first cartoons Warner Bros. Animated digitally, so they couldn't get everything right from the start, hence the brightness problem. Still, it's not enough to dethrone this masterpiece from the spot it deserves in my eyes. S is not enough, it's S+ tier. It's brilliant. I used to like this theme song, but I now realize that it can get really annoying really fast. It's not the best choice, but I give them credit for it. I like that the intro is a silhouette sequence. I could only think about Superbad when I rewatched it. The color palette used is nice, and it has a big what is going on type of vibe, which really fits the series in my opinion. It's very suitable for it. Doesn't mean it's amazing, it's okay, but the thing you'll probably remember from it is the fact that the song is annoying. So yeah. C tier. Given the fact that Mystery Inc. is the best written, heavy lore, full of consequences piece of Scooby media we've ever and probably will ever receive, this intro is kinda mid. Just like the new Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo one, it's only about half the length of a normal Scooby intro, maybe because they wanted to get the intro out of the way so we get quickly and have more of the episode since they are brilliant. The same could be said about the Scooby and Scrappy one, god-awful shorts. Watching those feels like you're stuck in purgatory. They just never end. I like the character introduction parts, which show that the characters are actually important and that 3 of them aren't just one-dimensional and dispensable as before. But still, I can't see myself giving it more than the B tier. Also, the shot at the end looks really goofy. It's like they tried to do some type of lens filter, but it ended up horrible. They were on deadline day, so they just sent that in as it was. We've arrived at the black sheep of the franchise. I honestly quite enjoyed this one, even though it's the shortest one yet, about 20 seconds. It's straight to the point, fast-paced, and gets the vibe across that this installment is a bit different, if you couldn't already tell from the art style. It shows that Velma's the smart one by reading a book, classic, that Daphne is interesting in this one by fooling around that massive spider, Scooby and Shaggy, same old, and Freddy as the fearless leader by the flames in his eyes as he's driving towards the monsters to save the gang, and how they all are goofy by headbanging at the end. I also am a big fan of the color palettes used, with all the different shades. Nice job. I'm debating between a C and a B, but I quite like the series. I don't like the fact that people don't give it a chance because of the art style, so I'm sending it to the B tier. This is horrible. It's the Wish version of the original series intro. The same can also be said about the cartoon. It recreates, in a poor way, the Bat intro, then puts on a recycled part of the intro over a recreation of the gang running gif that was used in the original for the title cards, while someone tries to hypnotize you into liking this series, showing you different celebrity silhouettes, either fictional or real. God awful. F tier. To end this list on a high note, we got last and definitely least, the powerhouse, the most watched HBO Max original animation, Velma. In the new movie's intro, to tie things back to the past, they say about Scooby that there couldn't be a show without you. Velma is the hopefully not living and breathing example of that. There is one requirement to a Scooby cartoon, just one, to have the talking dog in it. That's it. Is it that hard? It's literally that subreddit. You had one job. You cannot be serious. You do not take a shit where you eat, and that's what the series exactly did. It's a disgrace. Also, I'm sending this from the get-go below F tier. This goes straight to the Shadow Realm, but the intro is a weak-ass 4-second long title card with dripping orange text, which looks like that Cartoon Network short between commercial breaks with those 2 guys chasing that Netflix adaptation of Q*bert. It's an absolute mess. Shadow Realm tier. So kids, what have you learned today? I think that every series approach to the intro is pretty unique, except for a couple of bad apples, and I like how creative and what directions the directors, animators and composers take every time. The franchise came a long way from using bits and pieces from the episodes to craft the intro, to making the intro slowly from the ground up. It kept getting more and more interesting, and then we got to Guess Who and Velma and we fell off the cliff. But the other installments deserve their praise 100%. They were really unique in their own way, and I appreciate it. That's honestly about it. Subscribe, leave a like if you've enjoyed this. We hit 1K recently, very happy about it. I wanted to thank all of you for making it happen. It means the absolute world to me and my 4th grade self who never thought this would be possible, but yeah, thank you guys so much. See you next time. Bye.